Well, hello everybody. How is everyone doing? Johnny from the plot hole. It's been a little bit. It's been stupid busy, but nobody cares. You guys don't care that I've been busy. You yell and throw things at me, so I figure I might as well come out here and do what I do, which is a whole lot of nothing if you ask some folks, which is perfectly fine. See what you like. How's everybody doing? Hope you're having a great start of your week. I know that we've got school starting in my neck of the woods. What about you guys? My kids, we actually just sat down and had a pizza party preschool. Yeah, celebrating the end of a adventurous summer, getting the kids ready to go back to school starting tomorrow. My goodness, time flies when you're old, I guess. Bridget Divide says first. Good to see you, JL. Lori Marie says second. Freedom Fighter, hello. Good to see you. Tony Regime, hello. Yellowstone Loyal says he's just trying to squeeze money out of them. I'm assuming you're talking about the Michael Orr situation and not Johnny O, because I don't care if you give me anything. I'm just kidding. I know you're talking about Michael Orr. We'll get into that here in a second. I thought that was a very interesting story that came up my way, by the way. Charlie Welch says intro 3 of 6. Bullshit. There's only one intro, Charlie Welch. One. Just one. I even shortened it for all of you complainers. I know you're just kidding. Let's see here. Roseanne Mossman says, good evening, kiddos. Happy Tuesday. Good evening. Good evening. Score is in the house, is lurking from the office. Hope all's well. Been a while. It has been a while. Hope all's well over there in Vietnam, right? Correct? Right? Yeah. Let's see here. Skits Crasher, who celebrates 20 months of membership. My goodness, thank you so much. Says, hello, Johnny O. Hello, Skits Crasher. Good to see you. Up and Out says nothing like some Viking metal. That's right. It's always a good time. Always a good time. Charlie Welch says, fucking Johnny O, he lives. I do. I've been stupid busy. I'll catch up here in a minute. Twins Grandma says, hello, Johnny O. Hello, Twins Grandma. Good to see you. Starting September 5th. Oh, no. Oh, no. Brian Powell, good evening. Good evening. I'm so glad that all of you are here. I hope everybody's having, again, start of your week should be awesome. It's Tuesday, right? Yesterday was Monday. Today's Tuesday, right? Yeah. So it's been stupid busy over here. A lot of projects, a lot of things going on in the background, trying to get things in and out. It's been crazy. It's been crazy. Bandit, who celebrates 24 months of membership, says, hello, Johnny. Oh, hello, Bandit. Good to see you. Bridget Divide, who celebrates 30 months, says, finally justifying my membership with a live. Thank you. I appreciate that. I know. I feel bad. I feel like I need to do this at least once a month because, yeah, I feel bad when I don't put out. Sorry. I feel bad when I don't put out content. It's just so stupid busy. And September is going to be even worse because September seems to be the month that everybody wants to do something that requires my attention and help, which is fine. I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm not complaining at all. I need to work, especially with the SAG strike and all this stuff going on. It trickle down stuff is kind of affecting what I can and can't do a little bit, just a little bit, not a whole lot, but a little bit, enough that I'm making sure to, be good with the things that I take. So, Mr. Andrek, good to see you. Lori Marie says, so glad you're back. I need a relief from the frauditor crap. I am not a huge fan of the frauditor stuff. I put out a video a week ago, I think, and it didn't do very well at all. And it's different than my normal stuff, but I don't know if it was because it was super different or it was because that YouTube just didn't push the video. I'm not for certain. So not very many of you saw it. Let me know if you did, and tell me what you think. Thank you, thank you, Sketch Crasher. I appreciate that. Brian Powell, who wow, look at Mr. Andret, Mr. E-Man. There it is. That's what I'm looking for. Johnny doesn't put out. Oh no, Mr. E-Man has gifted 5 plot hole memberships. Thank you so much, everybody who is now a new member. It looks like Mr. Andret, Brian Powell, who else? Lori Marie, Freedom Fighter, and Roshin. Good to see you, Roshin. You are all now. I'm sorry. You're all now squirrel. Your members. Use your emojis. Got some good ones in there. JL says, but SAG-AFTRA now stated that they won't give waivers for indie films that have WGA scripts. I'm over here like Anthony Adams. I need to look into this a little bit more because it's a little bit different. It's not that they won't give. I need to look at it. I need to look at it. That's all there is to it. I just need to look at it because, yeah. I just need to look at it. Maybe we're all frauded out at this point. I think so. Greetings to one and all. You are interrupting Tunes day 9 at the plot. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, MC Tune. I'm sorry, but that's another thing I can't do very much anymore. All the just the dishonest flat Earth nonsense. Like, was it recent that Dearth was on with Professor Dave? And it's the funny thing is, nothing about flat Earth has changed. Nothing. It's all the same regurgitated bullshit over and over and over and over again. And I'm just so fucking tired of it. So I can't do it. I just can't do the dishonesty. Like, you'll have idiots. Who was it that was on MC Tune last week or the week before talking about, every lens there's lens distortion and blah, 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 which is true. Every lens does have a certain amount of lens distortion, which is measurable, by the way, so much so that every single lens you buy will have some sort of distortion measurement on there. So, yeah, same crap, different people, Mr. Aaron. It's absolutely true. Absolutely true. I'm just so tired of it. So tired of all the fucking nonsense. That idiot Daniel Pratt is back. It's one of the idiots we're going to talk about today. This fool is so off his rocker. I was going to bring up one of his videos and make fun of him, but it's not even fun. It's not even fun. I mean, he's just an idiot. He just runs around and rambles on about God knows what to God knows who, talking about the dumbest fucking shit. And what he doesn't realize is that it is so much like pot calling the kettle that it's just not even, it's just dumb. It's really dumb. Yes, willful ignorance does get fucking old. Score says all things flat Earth is so damn irrelevant. It's not even worth the time that it takes to say how pointless this is. Yeah, I'm done with all that shit too. I just can't do it. Lord Marie says, I need some Three Beardsmen. I agree. Matter of fact, JL and PhD Tony, if you guys are in the side chat, I'm JL. PhD Tony, if you're in the side chat, let me know and I'll send you guys out a link. We can do this. Well, I don't know. Tony was having an issue getting logged into this thing last time. So that might be, we'll have to figure that out. We need to get together. We do. Got to get it done. I like pointing and laughing at Dunning-Kruger, says Robert Brady. I do too, to a certain extent. And my threshold for putting up with that shit has just gotten like lower and lower and lower. I can't do it. Like it's just done. I mean, I'll go and I'll watch an MC Tune live stream or a FTFU live stream or whatever for a couple of minutes, and then I'm done. Like, I'm just done. Fucking, yeah. Just because it's just not worth it. Not worth it. Let's see here. Skits Crasher has gifted 5 plot hole memberships. Thank you so much, Skits Crasher. It looks like So Last Summer, Gadrack Potato. Let's see, Kelly L. Who else? Pat Dallinger and Duevico. If Johnny sends a league, I'll be there. Thank you so much. All you guys, all you new members, again, enjoy all of the emojis that I have painstakingly curated for you. Now, some of them aren't as good as others, but whatever. It's okay. Frauditors and flatterers got their so-called 15 minutes of fame. I think that the problem is that they're dragging it on. And part of the problem are those of us that cover those idiots, right? If we just let them off to their devices, maybe they would go away. Maybe not. I don't know. I don't know if they go away or not. I certainly don't think that the frauditors would go away. I mean, the flat earthers are just stupid. I don't think anybody with any kind of fucking gray matter between their ears gives anything a flat earther has to say any outside of the entertainment aspect of what's going on, right? Outside of, Dearth getting just completely demolished by Professor Dave, or Witsit Gets It. That's the worst name, by the way. Witsit, if you see this, that's a terrible name for you. You should call yourself fucking dumbass. You should immediately change your name from Witsit Gets It to I'm a fucking dumbass, period. Now, I know what I did there. I know I gave you guys a clippable whatever, but that's fine. You guys know what I'm saying. Anyway. Hello, Anaceto Maldonado. Good to see you. Mystery Sausage Theater says, I hope the strike ends soon. TV is boring and anti-frauditor community is full of dumb drama. Yes. Yeah. I don't watch a whole lot of television, believe it or not. I'm more of a film person, and I do watch some TV, but I don't really have time to invest into television. And plus, the kids they usually run the gamut of that entertainment. I'm down here. We keep it separate, like separate spaces for different things, and whatever it is. I just don't. There's a lot of people like, hey, have you seen this show? Have you seen that show? No, I haven't seen this show. I haven't seen the show. I haven't had to. It's one of them things. But it is what it is. But yeah, I agree. I want it to end soon because there's some things I want to do, right? Projects I want to get started. Um, always something good on PBS. Up and down says sometimes. Stupid as stupid wants to be. That's true. But yeah, it's I want SAG. I support the strikes, right? I support the WGA. I support SAG after, right? Simply because you've got these outdated ways of paying people who create content. I think it was Suits. I think that was a show where they ended the run on syndicated television and went straight to Netflix streaming. Not just Netflix, but streaming. I think it's on Netflix. I want to say Netflix, Hulu, and Amazon. I could be incorrect, but I know it's on Netflix because it pops up whenever I look on there. But so I hear this nonsense, and I see the show, right, and they're talking about the second it went to streaming and off of syndicated television, the entire writers department, like they had something like 5 million views or 5 billion. It was a ridiculous amount of views for this Suits show, and the people who were given, I think it was a writers portion, were given $3,000 to split. Like, that is insane to me. That is insane. I just am I ready for some football? I am. Maybe. I think so. I don't know yet. We'll let you know when football starts. I'm not a huge football fan, even though I'm a Dolphins fan. It's probably not a huge football fan. But I just don't have time to get invested into it like I used to. When I was a kid, fuck yeah. I was like, oh, football, baseball, baseball. I went to a first baseball game that I've been to in the longest time. Yesterday it was a good game. Max Scherzer went out there and fucking pitched his ass off. He was just lights out. The Rangers beat the fucking Angels like they fucking stole something. But that being said, I just don't have time to get involved in that because I'm busy doing other things. I enjoy it when I get to sit down and listen to a game or watch. I enjoy it. Right? It's just not the top of my list. If it's not, something with the kids or the wife or the work, what I do for work. It's what I mean. I'd rather be doing those things. Came across someone at a party who was an open conspiracy theorist. I got them to describe the flat earth, then a while later the hollow earth, and then they believed both. These idiots. I haven't been here in so long that the chat bot hit me with the rules. I have rules? What do you know? That's fun. Good to see you, Aaron. But Nova was a good show. I remember that when I was a kid. I miss giving a single shit about sports. Don't forget hiring writers dirt cheap to do pilots and dumping them for professionals once they land the contract. Yeah, that's kind of a shitty practice too. Sandy D, good to see you. I am getting busy. Oh boy. What's up, Tesla Radio? Yeah, no, the whole everything that's going on with SAG and WGA. I mean, there's a lot of things that I agree with. I again fully support the strikes, so it's tough, right? It makes it tough because people are like, hey, I got to do this show. What's blah blah blah. We're gonna do this project, and I got to make sure. Are we doing something that would step on SAG or WGA's toe? Because I don't want to see that happen. Hey, Mr. Schrodinger's cat, good to see you. I sent you a message the other day. Let me know what you think. We're gonna get the group together for the thing that I sent the message about. So, Donut Earth sounds delicious. Yes, it does. Fucking squirrel. But I would like to see a resolution to the strike sooner rather than later, simply because I don't want to have to worry about, am I doing the right thing when it comes to taking on this project or the wrong thing? Or I just don't have to worry about that shit. I gave up on sports when local teams disappeared from OTA TV. I gave up sports after I worked ice level maintenance at the Saddle Dome. Saw behind the curtain. Uh-oh. Oh, no. Oh, no. There's been some interesting things that have happened. Very interesting things. I need to show you guys something. We're gonna do some. We're gonna do some things here. Let me see. Is this the one? Yeah. Let me know if you all remember. Somebody's getting antsy over there. Let me all if y'all remember this lady.
Or they cannot believe it. I don't give two fucks, but I am telling you right now, that motherfucker back there is not real.
Now I know all of you guys have seen this lady. I know you have. Okay. That lady. Oh, hey, how you doing? Bark, 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 bark. Bark, 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 bark. Bark. Dogs, what are you gonna do? They're great, aren't they? I love my puppies, but they can be very noisy. Anyway, how many people remember this lady? She's talking about all this not real and this motherfucker back there. And she had, I mean, she was obviously under some sort of stress, some sort of break in reality. Something happened. Well, she issued a statement, and I'm not sure it really answers any questions. We're going to get to that here in a second. First, PhD Tony 410 Ozzy says, I would like the strike to end sooner so that writers can get paid what they deserve. Absolutely. Also, protections for SAG actors who are not Tom Cruise and Tom Hanks and the big names. They just all those guys. Background actors are talking about having them come in and get scanned AI so they can use their image in perpetuity. Piss off. Yeah, I'll do that, but every time you use my image, you're going to pay me X amount of money, and it's going to be like a week's worth of day rates at the very minimum. But you're not going to use it in perp. Thank you for that 10 Aussie, by the way. I really do appreciate it. Women's beach volleyball. Yes. Is Johnny O real? I don't know. I don't think so. Anyway, so we remember this. I don't know. Am I real? Yes, I'm real. Or at least I'm not dreaming. Shit. Anyway, she released this statement, and we are going to listen to what she has to say right now.
Hi, everyone. It's me.
Can you guys hear okay? Let me know. Let me know in the side chat if you can hear okay.
Tiffany Gomez, probably better known as the Crazy Plane Lady, which is completely warranted. As you know, I have been unwilling to speak on the viral video, but I do finally feel that it's time. First and foremost, I want to take full accountability for my actions. They were completely unacceptable. Distressed or not, I should have been in control of my emotions, and that was not the case. My use of profanity was completely unnecessary, and I want to apologize to everyone on that plane, especially those that had children aboard.
So there are a couple of things that we need to say here. Yeah, that's what I was looking for earlier, JL. That specific that Sutra streaming Netflix to the tune of $3 billion. Watchmen as a cast and creators receive $3,000 in residuals. This is fucking insane. But getting back to Miss Gomez here, it wasn't just that she caused a scene, right? Her actions, because she was claiming that there were extreme. I can't remember if she said there was a bomb or some sort of weapon, but I think she said there was a bomb on the plane. I think she said the plane was going to blow up. So she forced everybody on that plane off. Like everybody had to get off of the plane. There they go again. I'm telling you, they're just outed. But anyway, her actions forced everyone off the plane. They had to go recheck and go through security again. Because of the things that she was saying. So it wasn't just that she was having an episode and that she was having a break, mentally distressed. And it wasn't just that she caused a scene. A lot of people just see the first part like, oh, that's kind of funny, whatever, blah, blah. And then they go on about today. No, this is a serious delay. It's a huge delay.
Can't imagine going through that and trying to explain to your kid what in the world just happened. We all have our bad moments, some far worse than others, and mine happened to be caught on camera for the whole world to see multiple times. Sorry, trying not to sound like Minnie Mouse. Well, it has been really comical for everyone, and I have highly enjoyed so many of the memes. On the flip side, it is very invasive and unkind, and I don't know what I would do without the love and support of my friends and family.
Okay, so I'm sorry that it was invasive and unkind to you, but you kind of caused this shit on you did this to yourself, right? So let's not try and we're not going to let you turn yourself into the victim here. Now, granted, I don't think that anybody should be bullying or whatever. You make some jokes, and some of them are pretty funny. I mean, I'm not going to lie. Some of them are funny. Let's be honest here. But lady, you're not the victim. You're the perpetrator, okay? You caused this, right? You acted a fool. And again, you at the time you felt justified. That's great. I understand. But you're not the victim here, lady.
They are loyal to a fault, and I don't know what I did to deserve them. Sorry, y'all. I hope that I can use this experience and do a little bit of good in the world, and that is what I intend to do. I hope that you guys can accept my apology and I can begin to move on with my life.
See, to me, that sounds more like, hey, leave me alone. Stop talking about me. Stop talking about me. I don't want to deal with the negative backlash that I've received from this. What do you think? Let me know. Let me know what you think. Because that didn't sound like much of an apology. It sounded more like, yeah. That's so last summer. That's the thing. That's the thing that I got out of that. There was absolutely no explanation of what really happened. It was a half-assed apology at best, and zero explanation. Yeah, I was distressed. Okay, what does it say? What were you drunk? Were you high? Were you on some sort of stressed out? Were you on some sort of medication? What? I mean, no explanation whatsoever. Tony Regime, who celebrates 4 months of membership, says if she was just being a drunk Karen, excuse me, why did they take everyone off the plane instead of just arresting her? If I remember correctly, and this was like very cursory reading, the things that she were alleging, because she was singling somebody else out and alleging that the plane was going to crash or blow up or some shit like that. They pulled everybody off and had them run through security again just so they could cover their ass just in case what she said was true, right? That's I don't know. I don't know. But yeah, there was no apology there. There was no apology. It was just, hey, stop making fun of me. Sandy D says, I'm glad I didn't grow up in the age of social media. My mistakes are lost to history. I get the pressures of stress of this kind of attention. The idiots come out. But Karen, yeah, I know. My goodness. She's gotten a chili stash. Yeah. And it's kind of funny you bring that up, Sandy D. So I'm in a Discord group, and one of the members brought up an interesting topic for discussion, possibly even an interesting topic for documentary, talking about the added pressure, like not specifically like social media, but what social media does contribute to, but like the clout chasing, the fame chasing, the necessity to, like, how that influences people's decision making on whether or not, like, for instance, why does a frauditor do what a frauditor does? Why do these pranksters, like, where is the threshold for what they will and won't do? Where's the line? Like, where do we stop with some of the silly shit, the law breaking, or the extreme fucking pranks? Where do we stop this? Or where is that line? What are we going to do? You know what I mean? It just seems like there's a lot that people won't or will do. There's like, they don't know when to say, all right, we need to pull this back a little bit because we're getting silly. Hi.
Oh,
Good night.
Night.
So that's an interesting topic. It's kind of interesting. I would like to kind of see um, where that goes. Perhaps somebody will do that. I don't know if I have time for that one, but maybe. But why point and say he's not real? I've heard a couple of different things, Susan. I've heard that he took her phone or something. I don't know. I guess to me it seems like she was under the influence of something, be it a substance, whatever. Bridget Device says, attention seeking meets the natural one upmanship we see in every art medium, especially music. Perhaps. Yeah. Damn kids need to stop getting taller and making me feel older. Yeah. Mr. Android, anything for views. And that's the thing. There's a lot of people that do stupid shit for views, right? Like this whole, I don't even know. I don't even know what. The prank ones, man. Some of those are just fake, right? This is just stupid. Like there's just one group, this couple who like they one up each other on pranks, right? Like the wife accuses the man of some shit, like cheating on her and all this stuff, and then he ends up having this fucking breakdown and crying, and then he leaves out of the car like he's gonna leave, and then the video ends. Then fast forward to the next video, and then now he's doing something to her, and he's created fake accounts and making it look like she's cheating on him, and they have this fucking like super huge emotional breakdown. I'm like, dude, we know this is fucking bullshit. Well, most of us know this is bullshit, but there are people out there gonna look at this thing like, oh my god, what's fucking but it was like, where do we go? Like, why is that a thing? Why is it funny? I don't think it's funny. I mean, some people do, I guess. Maybe I don't have a sense of humor, but some people think it's funny to like exaggerate these pranks. It's kind of silly, but, Wavy web surf covers living memes and YouTube liars and frauds on his channel. Been pitching an idea to him about certain frauds in the community. Yeah, staging a felony is not a prank, contrary to what TikTok seems to think. Absolutely. I did not see this one, Sandy D. Send it my way. I'm kind of curious. Sandy says, did you see the video of the TikToker who got arrested for hitting someone in the head with a gun after a road rage issue? Turns out, he caused, kept saying, do you know who I am? That's interesting. Has there ever been a frauditor convention? Every time, well, not a frauditor convention, but there's been a fraudster convention every time that the flat earthers get together. Johnny is not over the beardsman at all, ever. No, not at all. Tesla Radio says every day we get closer and closer to theocracy. Yeah. That is another thing that is potentially concerning, talking about we're becoming desensitized to these videos, because they do seem to be because you see one and somebody else sees it like, oh cool, it worked for them, so I need to do something like that, but we need to up it. And then I gotta do better than that, we need to up that, and then it just fucking like, holy shit. Where do we stop this? Where do we get to? Like, that line seems to be getting smaller and smaller and smaller. And it's just like, what the fuck, man? What are we doing to ourselves? Besides, the single greatest prank in the history of my time is my entire life. Aw, man, that's not nice to say about yourself. I did find one that I thought was hilarious. Some of these are funny. This one here I found is funny. Night Noodler says, I like being a TikToker. Well, I mean, yeah, some people are good at it. I'm not one of those people. I'm not good at TikTok. All right, this shit cracked me up.
For the bags under your eyes. Now, I don't have very big bags under my eyes, but we're going to try out this product today because that's what we do. So my friend suggested you just cut it in half. And then you take the habanero.
This dude said habanero.
With a quick rub under your eyes. And give it a few
Oh jeez. Listen to that scream. We're gonna do that again simply because that scream was hilarious.
For the bags under your eyes. Now,
skip it to the screen. Oh,
I don't have. very big bags under my eyes, but we're going to try out this product today because that's what we do. So my friend suggested you just cut it in half. And then you take the habanero, do with a quick rub under your eyes, and give it give it a few
Oh man, whether it's fake or not, I mean, I don't get. It's still funny, right? People sometimes we get too hung up on that. Oh, this is fake. Yeah, maybe it was fake. It's fucking hilarious. You know what else is fake? Every comedy movie you watch is still fucking funny. But yeah, don't do that. Don't do that. Habaneros are spicy. Habaneros. He slapped himself silly. Hang on a second. Where did he go? Sandy D says, I have a link for you. Where do I send it? You can send it to. Hang on, let me put 1 sec. Here we go. Boom. There you are. theplot01@gmail.com. Sola Summer says, I still refuse to download TikTok. I also have never had Twitter. I will not. It's not Twitter anymore. It's X. Fucking hell. X. You dumb. Yeah, he was dumb. That's habanero. Yeah, no, I get it, but I thought that shit was fucking habanero. What's up, Raven Darkstar? Good to see you. Whoa, yikes. There's another great one. Some guy doing that to his ring hole. Oh no. You know, the fact that worked makes me doubt the human race at times. The fact that worked. That's all I'm saying. I mean, in other words, Twitter finally branded itself for its content. Yeah, pretty much. Says a dark messenger. Yeah. Twix. Okay, so let's talk about this Michael Orr situation. I'm sure a lot of you are familiar with the story of Michael Orr and the Tuohys. There was a film that came out late 2000s. I say late 2000s. Was it 2010, 2012, or no, 2009? 2009. Called The Blind Side. And it was about the Tuohy family who met Michael Orr, who was homeless, and they scooped him up into the house, took care of him, adopted him. And it's, the movie it's a good movie, right? It's just very heartwarming story of these white folk who find this black kid and take care of him, and there's a lot, right? And at the time you watch, it's like, oh, that's great, restoring my faith in humanity is so awesome. And there wasn't a whole lot of like negativity coming out about it at the time back in 2009 when this came out. Matter of fact, it was I think it was Oscar nominated at the very least, but it was a very popular film. Spellbinder, yeah. So you might have some lag going on. Anyway, so you've got, again, Michael Orr was an underprivileged youth who dealt with homelessness. He had a broken home, but he was very large. I don't just mean fat. He was a big guy. He still is, right? Especially as a high schooler. But adopting a homeless person, yeah, not sure. I'm not sure about that either, because when they did the conservatorship, or when they did adopt him, I think he was 18. I'd have to go back and relook at all that stuff. But I want to say, even at the time, I was like, how do you adopt somebody who's 18 years old? But there are, like, you'll get some, you see the stories about these kids who, because of a step parent who has been there their entire lives and helped, raise them as their own children, they'll go through a ceremonial adoption to whatever. He was also a mediocre tackle in the NFL. I don't know if he was mediocre. I mean, he was decent enough to get himself a Super Bowl on a good team. So I mean, I don't know if he was mediocre. He had a decent career, but regardless, right? So there's that whole story. That whole story comes out, and it was like the great white people who helped this poor black man or black kid, and it was like, oh, you know what I mean? Like you could there was a bit of not an agenda, but there was a slant to it, and I get it, right? Everybody likes to hear the story about the rich folk taking care of poor folk, and they like the story, and it really is a feel good story, right? And at the time, a lot of people were like, "Oh, that's really cool," I mean, because it is, right? It's really cool, not just because they're white and he's black, because it's good to see uh, people who are well off or have the means actually go out and do what they say they were going to do, or these people, the Tuohys, very religious family, from what I understand, from what they purport themselves to be. So take that fact in conjunction with what the film portrayed. Now, I understand, being somebody who's in the film industry, I understand how they, like, based on a true story is about as uh, useful of a phrase as tits in a boar hog. But you look at this and you're like, okay, cool. There's a story about these rich folk who actually use their money for what they're supposed to use it for, right? They're helping out underprivileged folks, putting money back into the community, taking care of people and whatever. And then you start looking at the Tuohys, and not that they're I mean, like I said, I don't think they're terrible people. I don't think that they are, the whatever. I don't think they're awful people. I just don't think they're as altruistic as the film made them out to be. Obviously, again, because it's a movie. Well, recently, Michael Orr has come out and said that the Tuohys tricked him into signing conservatorship over to the Tuohys. Like, he essentially signed over the rights to his name over to this family, or the matriarch and the patriarch. And gentle whitewashing, Mr. Android. That's right. That's the phrase that probably best surmises the situation. But um, you've got and apparently this is also something that's been going on for quite some time, from what I understand from some of the articles that I've read. And again, I haven't read all of them because I just don't have fucking time. So don't think I'm speaking on this as an expert. I'm certainly not a legal expert, and the whatever the most generous definition of legal expert, not even in that ballpark. So don't take anything I say as legal advice or whatever. But looking at what Orr alleges that the Tuohys tricked him into signing over, that he was never really adopted, that he just signed over basically the rights to his name, that the Tuohys made a truckload of money off of the film, the book, etc., and he hasn't seen a dime of any of the money that he's made. And earlier today, I read an article that was Tuohy's response. So to Tuohy's, from their attorney, and they say, no, that's not the case. We never tricked him into anything. This is something that he's been trying to do for years. He's been basically saying, if you don't give me money, this is what I can do to you. So we've got this amazing story, right? The story of this family taking care of this underprivileged person, and it's like, oh man, it's so very nice, so very nice. And then it, like, something happens, your money gets involved, apparently, obviously. Michael Orr, the ex-NFL star whose story inspired the Oscar-winning film The Blind Side, allegedly asked his adopted family for $15 million not to go public. No, he said, what he says? He asked his family to not to go public with claims they swindled him. Oh, so what the Tuohys are alleging is that Orr essentially tried to extort them, blackmail, extortion, right? What's up, Tim Hicks? Good to see you. You're no lawyer, but at least you're not as low as a legal scholar. That's true. So this is just like the ugliness of this whole thing. Just fucking like money, honestly, is going to bring out the nastiness in some people. But we've got one side saying, "No, you stole my name, and you stole money. You making money off of my name." And the other side saying, "No, we've paid." According to the Tuohys, they have paid. They said there's no credence to his claims that they haven't made the amount of money that he alleges they made. Now, the film may have made $15+ million. It doesn't necessarily mean that the Tuohys made that money, right? It's possible that they could have. It's possible. I don't know what their deal is. Um, it could very well be that they have a royalties deal with whatever in the movie, and how that's very possible. I don't know. I don't know those things. PS Attorney says, and so instantly on the release of the film, he sprang into action with a lawsuit. Um, no, I think I'm trying to. The funny thing is, and this was this a few years ago, so this was 2009 when the film came out. There were, I mean, obviously, talked to Michael Orr about it, and he didn't have a whole lot to say against it. But in fairness to what Michael Orr is alleging, he just found out that it wasn't an adoption that he signed. It was a conservatorship, so which I'm assuming he went back and looked through it. To me, it seems as if obviously this is about money. I mean, point blank a period. If the Blind Side was, made nothing, it was a big huge flop and it lost all this money and whatever, the Tuohys weren't getting money or whoever, I don't think we'd be hearing anything about this, right? Nobody would care. But it was a good movie, it was a good story, a lot of money be made. I'm sure studios make buku's bucks from this. So I mean, they could have used him for money, says Lawyer Marie, and he could have blown through his NFL money. We shall see. It's possible. It's possible. It's possible. I mean, that happens to a lot of athletes who get into sports. Now, Michael Orr he does have an education. I forget what he's doing now. But there's a lot of like fucking mudslinging going on here. So the Tuohy lawyer, again, this is according to the article. I think this is on ESPN or the New York. This is the New York Post. This is a New York Post article. According to their lawyer, Orr was instead the principal offender who has repeatedly threatened to plant a negative story about the Tuohys in the press if they didn't cough up an 8-figure check. Now, apparently, this has been going on over several years. But the Tuohys also states that they have given Orr an equal cut of every penny received from the Blind Side. So this is going to be interesting. They say that Orr has been dropped by several different attorneys, and they finally found an attorney who would take Orr up on and enable him. They're saying that this attorney is enabling him. The attorney wants to eat, so I guess he's going to do what he can because he gets paid regardless. 8 figures. What's up, Crystal Kieran? Good to see you. So this is an interesting story. What do you guys think? Let me know. What do you think? Do you think that it's possible that the Tuohys are hoodwinked this young man, or do you think that maybe Michael Orr just getting a little bit greedy? Kind of curious. I am. Lori Marie says this will be an interesting trial. Absolutely will be an interesting trial if it ends up going to trial. This could be one of those things where we're just going to say what we're going to say and hopefully we can settle out of court. I'm going to tell I want $15 million. And then the other side will come to me and say, well, here you go. We'll settle out of court for 2.5. Okay, cool. Whatever. Or whatever it ends up being. Excuse me. Sorry, guys. Long, long nights. Did Kim Blandino take up the case? I don't know. I don't know. Excuse me. West Side Girl Reacts says they are very good, Tony. They visualize J.R.R. Tolkien. I don't know what you're talking about, West Side Girl Reacts, but it's good to see you. So I am curious. Like I said, I hate it when shit like this happens. You like to believe the best in people, but I'm a cynic, so I'm like, no, this can't be as good as they fucking wanted it. Whatever. But Ed209 says Blind Side was a very good movie. It has no effect on me. And yeah, that's another thing. Do you think this is something that we should really get into? Is it something that it doesn't really affect us? But do you think that So many mistakes there. My bad. Oh, I don't know what I'm talking about. But do you think this is something that the public should know, or do you think this is something that should be handled privately? Like, the news is always funny to me. The things that we focus on, right? Like how does this in any way, shape, or form affect me? Welsh News Network, who has been a plot hole member for 9 months, says he lives. I do live. I'm alive and well, contrary to popular belief. PhD Tony says, I can have an opinion, but ultimately it's what the courts determine that matters. Who contracted with whom and to what effect? I mean, I'm curious to see if it is the fact that it wasn't an adoption, but a legal assuming of his identity. Not assuming of his identity. So that's not what I mean. It was a conservatorship. Then yeah, that's an interesting piece of information there. That would if that were the case, that would lead credence to what Michael Orr says. Sofa King Sleepy says, he celebrates 23 months of membership. Says, wow, almost a year. No, it's almost 2 years. Good to see you, Johnny. Good to see you too. Raven Darkstar says, if he was 18 at the time, maybe they did a conservatorship because they couldn't adopt. And that's possible, right? So, I mean, I guess they're going to have to, I don't know. Maybe he felt like he was hoodwinked. And maybe it'll be interesting to see what happens in the court. If this does end up going to court and what comes about, it'll be very interesting to see what happens. If you ran out of BS to put on the news, Americans might be forced to psychologically reckon with the climate change. I don't know, maybe. What's up, Pope Phil the First? Good to see you. Does not affect me. Just want to be entertained by Hollywood in all cases. Yeah, 2-9. Yeah, I mean, I get it. I understand. So yeah, so some people do get a little upset when stories like this turn out to be not the magical, super happy, whatever. That turns out there's actually some darkness going on there. There's some like the underside of the stories here. I mean, I guess I'm kind of curious is how do you guys feel about the whole based on a true story? And I know that some people will allow what gets put in film to affect how they think, what they think about an actual true event. Like for instance, Ace Ventura. I know this seems like a really weird example, but hang on with me. Those of you who are older like me and remember when Ace Ventura first came out, but there were people who were younger, I guess in my age group. Like I knew about the Dolphins, about the 84 Dolphins. I knew that game. I knew fucking 49ers beat the shit out of them. They being like they stole something, right? I knew that. I knew the whole kick heard around the world narrative that they put in Ace Ventura. That was just for the movie. But there were some people who thought that's what happened, that Ray Finkel missed a field goal. Whatever. There's some people who think that's exactly what happened. Like, no, it's not what happened. It's not what happened. And that wouldn't even, they didn't even claim based on a true story. And obviously, these are people who weren't really into sports. But Bang Bang Niner Gang, yep. Laces Out, right. They think Laces Out was a real thing. It's not. What's up, Tina Slay? Good to see you. D Rabbit says, based on a true story, I want facts, nothing else. So here's the thing. Do you think that we should be a little bit more, I don't know, like punch them in the face if they say based on a true story, and the only thing really based on a true story is the fact that they got one name right at one place at one time? Because essentially, if you see based on a true story, then that doesn't really mean anything. That just means that they heard about something at some point in time and they decided to make a film. Casey Hooper says, I remember the 72 Dolphins myself. I don't. I'm not that old. That was 9 years before my time. I'm still a Dolphins fan, and I do believe that it's great. But today is Quentin Aaron's birthday. He was Big Mike in The Blind Side. What is he? He's got to be in his 20s now. 25, I think. Sounds about right. Maybe older. No, he's going to be older than 25. He's going to be close to 30. OHER stated that people thought he was too mentally slow to play because of the movie. Linemen are very smart. They did make him out to be a little slower in the film. But again, that's like, and I can understand why he would have an issue with that. Like, you guys are making a movie about me using my name. Why are you making me look like an idiot? That's for dramatic effects. Like, where should we draw the line on that? Yeah, based on has been a red flag. It should be a red flag for everybody, Mr. Andrew. But yeah, absolutely. When I see based on a true story, I automatically know that at best, 3/4 of everything I'm about to see is total bullshit. What's up, Angel Rivera? Good to see you. Casey Cooper says, "You kids, I know we're young. I'm not as young as I used to be. I've actually got an independent film role coming up soon, and I got to do some running." Oh, jeez. Michael Mann made a reasonable, accurate gangster film, and it was boring and incoherent. Historical events are not necessarily good stories. That's true. That's true. Now, there are a couple of people like the Wolf of Wall Street. I'm not a huge Leonardo DiCaprio fan, but I am a Martin Scorsese fan. Anybody who's listened to me talk about film knows that I think Martin Scorsese is one of the very few directors who's not had a bad movie. Not one bad movie. But I digress. They were talking to the actual woman, the ex of, I forget what his name is, of the Wolf of Wall Street, talking to the ex and asking her how accurate was the portrayal that DiCaprio and Margot Robbie gave. And she said, well, it was pretty accurate. Some things, obviously was embellished for this, that, and the other. But one thing she did mention was the scene with the yacht sinking. Spoiler alert, anybody? She said, no, that's exactly what happened. It's absolutely what happened. So they got that right. And then you take a look at this is probably, I'm sorry, I have to bring it because yes, Cocaine Bear based on a true story. Yes. Yes, it was based on a true story. It was based on the fact that there was a bear who found cocaine, ate it, killed one person, and then died of a heart attack. That's it. Everything else is embellished. Everything else in that film is embellished. And if you didn't know that already, I'm not talking about anybody here specifically, but generally speaking, if we didn't know that already, then come on, man. There was a movie called Cocaine Bear. It was fucking hilarious, but Mystery Sauce Theater. Here you go. Yep. There's only one return, and it's not of the Jedi. What? It's of the Jedi, not the King. Gosh. True story lasted for about 15 minutes. Yeah, exactly. It was a bear who found a kilo of cocaine, ate it, killed a person, and that was it. Done. Had a heart attack. What we would expect to happen if any animal consumes that much cocaine. We have evidence about that cocaine bear. How about Sharknadoes? I have not seen any evidence of Sharknadoes. Haven't, so. The Wolf of Wall Street, is that the 3 hours of footage surrounding the world's second most watched upskirt shot? Trivia question of the night: what was the first? And I know some of you, I know Aaron, you know the answer, so you can answer if you want, but what is the first most watched upskirt shot? Only us older folks are gonna get this one. That's true. The Coen brothers put based on a true story on Fargo when it absolutely wasn't. Yeah, because there's no regulatory thing that says you can't do that. You could put based on a true. There it is. We got a couple of them. We got Charlie Welch, Robert Brighter. Who else? Tim Hicks, Sharon Stone. Yeah. Pope Phil I, Marilyn Monroe technically wasn't an upskirt because she kept her skirt down. But yeah, it was Sharon Stone and Basic Instinct. Sharon Stone had the fucking audacity to be like, I didn't know they were filming down there. I was like, get the fuck out of here. How do you not know they're pointing the camera directly at your fucking hoo-ha? They were telling, there's a reason why they told you, hey, don't wear underwear today. And I need you to spread your legs really wide. Hey, we're going to do several takes of you uncrossing your legs in this specific way. Mind you, I need you to make sure and really stretch when you do that when you uncross your legs. I need you to take your left knee and go way the fuck over here with it, and then open up your right knee and go way the fuck over here before you cross it again. Fuck out of here. She knew. She absolutely knew. Look, I get it. You don't want to be remembered as that, and that's fine. But don't sit there and say that you didn't know. Get the fuck out of here. Charlie Welch says when she comes to the yeah, she was Sharon Stone. To this day, she's still an attractive woman. She's in her 60s, she's still a very, very good looking woman. Aniseta Maldonado says, "Oh God, cocaine shark." That that's coming. It's coming. It's going to be cocaine sharknado. It's coming. It has to, right? It has to be here. We have to have a cocaine sharknado. And that's absolutely true, Tesla. He says there are worse things someone could be remembered for, like being Chili DeCastro. Sucks that he's going to be remembered that way, but that's another thing. Yeah, that was an accidental one, the whole steam over the thing. Although I don't know how accidental it was. I think it was they knew the steam was going to. It was one of those, we're not going to tell Sharon about it, but Sharon, we're not going to tell Marilyn Monroe about it, but we're going to do it. Yeah. Yeah. I didn't wish it into existence. The simple fact that Cocaine Bear and Sharknado exist in our world puts that into play. Because, yeah. Cocaine NATO. There you go. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. PhD Tony, you got me there. It says PCP Magneto. You need to think bigger. So you have to have the Megalodon on PCP in the tornado versus a squid. So we're to have like the Meg 2. You've got the Megalodon and you got the giant squid. So we've already got that shit happening for us. That's already coming. It's just the tornado part is just a logical conclusion or the logical step, next logical step. Oh yeah, we can't forget about Piranha 3D. We can't forget about the piranhas. So that we're gonna mix that. It's gonna be like, what is that? It's gonna be like the Avengers of stupid natural horror. We have the Megalodon, we're gonna have the giant squid, we're gonna have the cocaine bear, we're gonna have the piranha. Who am I forgetting? Sometimes you just need stupid to look at. Yeah, true. Yeah, true. I'm forgetting some. Oh, the crocodile. The crocodile. Yep, that's going to be in there too. But no Spaceballs 2, says Aniseta Maldonado. You can't do it now, unfortunately, because both Joan Rivers and John Candy have passed, and you just can't do Spaceballs without those two guys or those two actors. You just can't do it. Have it face the Fast Five team. See, now you could do this. This is actually a really good idea. Spaceballs 3, the search for Spaceballs 2. That's a great idea, Mystery Softset Theater. You should immediately contact Mel Brooks. Like, here's your movie. That way he can have a whole new cast. He can make it. Oh, that would be so good. That's such a good idea. And if you tell me this is already in the work, that this is something you saw from somewhere else, then cool, I haven't seen it. But this is such a good idea, because what you could do is you could make it a parody of the new trilogy. That would be it. That's the movie. Mel Brooks, if you're listening, and I highly doubt that you are, but if you, people who deal with Mel Brooks, if you happen to be watching this, Mystery Softset Theater, and I'm giving Mystery Softset Theater credit where credit's due, this is a movie. Spaceballs 3, The Search for Spaceballs 2. Okay. Great title. Great concept. And again, you could use a parody of the new trilogy. That's all I'm saying. It would be a great show. I think you need sleep. You're losing it. I don't sleep, and I've never had it to lose. So there. A parody of a parody. Exactly. Sandy D says, what we got here? I was talking with our campus police last week about an incident that happened on campus last year and how it was handled. I was told if it happens again, call the supervisor. Am I a sovereign now? No, that doesn't make you a sovereign citizen. No. What's your opinion on the History of the World Part 2? I haven't seen it yet. I know I haven't seen it yet, but I need to watch it simply because I think Mel Brooks is great. Aaron Reese says, just dump a plane full of bath salts into a forest fire and watch the magic. Find some deer eating a forest ranger's face. Oh no. That's just like an old Cosby movie, Leonard Part 6. I remember that. I remember that movie. I watched that with my father. Hey, NF Cat, good to see you. Robert Biter says, watch Blazing Saddles again on the weekend. Love Spaceballs trilogy. Yep. Blazing Saddles is great. Sleep is for the weak or those who, get good sleep. Jersey Fool says anybody can be replaced. Yes and no. Again, if you're going to do Spaceballs, I think doing Spaceballs 3, The Search for Spaceball 2, that would be great. That's just best. I think it's best. Yo, Mel Brooks peeps, hit me up at the Plot Hole 2023. Yeah, don't hit me up. Hit up Mystery Softset Theater. Mystery. Maybe. So they did that with Spaceballs. So they brought in the alien reference at the very end. I don't know if I would do that so much, but you never know. If they can make it work, I mean, if Mel Brooks can make it work, it'd be great. Yes. Brooks needs to give Johnny and all of us an EB credit. Yes. That's what I'm saying. Jabba the Hutt would need to be orange with a comb over. No, because then they'll be like, "Oh, I'm not gonna want it because the snowflakes are hurting my feelings." Oh man, Mr. Andretz, you really? I'm usually asleep before my head hits the pillow. Yeah, lucky you. My wife does that. My wife, the second she gets into bed, done. Like, man, that must be nice. Not me. Let's see here. I'm reminded of Nathan Fillion versus a deer in Slither, where he tells the girl, "Thanks, but when we tell the story later, I saved you." Yep. I remember Slither when it first came out. Jabba the Bigly. Thor Rasmussen celebrates 30 months of membership. Says, "Good morning, Johnny and gang. Hope all's well." Good morning, Thor. Thank you so much for the 30 months. I appreciate that. Grogurt. Perfect. See, that's 2 good ideas. 2. Boom. My goodness. Ed 209, absolutely. Well, not just the writer's strike. It's the writer's strike and SAG now. It's the SAG after strike. Yes. So he asks, is the writer's strike holding up the end of Yellowstone like that? Yes. All of those shows are being held up by SAG and the WGA strikes. I agree. So I think you can bring those 2 back because, Rick Moranis is still around. And now that his kids are grown, for those of you who don't know, that's the reason why Rick Moranis went away, because his wife passed away when his kids were still young, and he didn't want his kids living that life of a lot of nannies and moving around a lot, and dad not being there and mom not being there because mom had passed. So he put his career, basically just retired early, and then focused on taking care of his children. But if this happens, Johnny O for barf. I don't know if I would do that. I just don't know, because John Candy he's just too difficult of an act to follow. Casey Cooper celebrates 9 months of membership. Time for a pregnant pause. All right, there's your pregnant pause. Hashtag Johnny over barf. If I see that trending on X, I'm gonna feel like pride will well up inside of me. That's all I'm saying. And Tim Russ, one of his greatest parts is in Spaceballs. Look, I would love to be in a Spaceballs. I would love to be in a Mel Brooks film. Absolutely. I just don't think it's going to happen. PhD Attorney says, I'd be coming up with great ideas like Mystery Sausage Theater, but I respect the writer's strike too much. Oh, jeez. No, I'm definitely not the same as John Candy. I'm definitely not the same as John Candy. He was a comedic genius. I recently watched Planes, Trains, and Automobiles, and that shit was great. I fucking love that movie. It's so funny. It does just kind of abruptly end, but Mel's a bit old. He is almost 100 years old. He's 90. Was he 94? Yeah. Oh, 97. Sorry, 97. Yeah. He's up there in age. Man, just had to think about it. Jesus. You watch Planes, Trains, and Automobiles every Thanksgiving. It's a good movie. It really is. It's a good movie. Johnny was Barf's son, Chuck. Up, Chuck. I like what you're doing there, Raven Darkstar. See, I like this. That's a better idea. Love the genius of the Christopher Guest mockumentaries. All improved. Hashtag Mel doesn't care. That's true. He doesn't. I'd smash my fingers for the misspellings, but the wife would cry. Oh no. Oh jeez. You gotta love Mel Brooks. He's couldn't do his movies today. He probably still would. I'm willing to bet that Mel Brooks came out 30 years later, he would be like, no, fuck this shit. We're doing Blazing Saddles. We're doing we're doing History of the World Part 1. We're doing Young Frankenstein. We're doing these movies. Every now and again, just because I just want to check the room. I just want to check the room. Like when I'm on a new set, and this is pretty risky on my part. When I get onto a new set, I always like to walk in, take a scan the room, look around, see if there's anybody I know, see who I don't know. And I always like to give where are the white women at? I love to give that line just to see how many people, A, get the reference, and B, laugh at that reference. I'd make Spaceballs 3 sequel trilogy about how Spaceballs 2 prequel trilogy fans hate each other's trilogies. Interesting idea as well. You think voice talent are filling out AI clauses if they pass away? What do you mean? You think voice talent are filling out? See, that's interesting because I think if I remember correctly, Morgan Freeman agreed to sell his voice. Like he'll be able to voice his own eulogy. I believe he sold his. For after he passes, though, I think the stipulation is after he passes. I'm not 100% sure, but I don't know. I don't like the idea of AI. I don't like the idea of AI taking those jobs, especially from background actors and whatnot. That's just going to put more money in the studio's pockets, and it's going to put more people out of work. Because that is a legitimate way to make money in the industry, background acting, right? Extras, as they call them. That would be great. Almost got beat because a buddy yelled at the bar once. Yeah, it's risky, but you got to do it. But no, I don't like the idea of. I don't like the idea of AI taking those jobs specifically. Now, here's the thing: if you decide to sell your likeness, that should be up to you. You shouldn't be forced into that, right? And that's where the industry was headed. They were trying to force people into AI background extras, specifically into AI scanning, and under the whole guise of, well, in case we need to do this, we have to do a reshoot instead of bring everybody out, blah 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 blah. And I can understand if they said it was just for this one film, right? We're gonna make this movie. We have all the background actors come in, and we're gonna scan them AI and then use them in case we need to for just this picture or just this movie. Okay, I don't like it because again, that's still taking money out of their pockets. It's still money that could be made on that film when they had to bring the extras in. And I would make sure and sell it for rent it. I wouldn't sell it, rent it for a certain time period. Like you've got 6 months post. After that, then no, you don't have permission. And I'm going to get a premium on that up front just in case it's non-refundable, right? I could, whatever. But doing the whole, what we're going to own your likeness in perpetuity even passes. No, fuck that. Nope. Sorry. Nope. Renting their image. Yeah, I can understand. I would rent out my image under certain circumstances. But no, these not day players, the extras, that's legitimate work. They make not great money. They should make more money. I do agree that they should make more money, but then they make good enough money that they can sustain themselves. Well, potentially sustain themselves. They should be able to, but Spaceballs 3 with Jake Lloyd as a new Lone Star. I think he's too far mentally and legally gone. That's one thing that irritates me about Star Wars. Like, some of the fans are fucked. They're just pieces of shit. And I remember when this happened because I remember I think it was the senior when uh, the episode 1 came out and Jake Lloyd was in there, and people fucking ripped him a new one. They were sending him fucking all the hate that he got. The Star Wars fans. Now, granted, he was probably already mental. There was already something mentally, I don't want to say wrong, but there's something mentally going on with him before, whatever. But all these people just fucking like pushing on him and giving him this hate and whatnot, driving him pretty much over the fucking, you know, um, wow, surprised there was only 3 that time. But yeah, driving him over the fucking edge, and then the legal troubles and the substance abuse and whatnot. Yeah. Thank you, Casey Cooper. I appreciate it. Yeah, Tesla. Usually it's like a string of like 15 or 20 of them, but this time it was only 3, so we're there. I think I've got enough allergy medicine in me to kind of keep them down. But when the Ewoks entered, I left. Ewoks were supposed to be Wookiees, FYI. But anyway, yeah, I don't know. I hope the strike ends soon. I know it's not going to. It's going to be well into next year before the strike ends, unless something really weird happens. Like, the best thing that happened so far was that A24 said, yeah, we are going to go ahead and sign a deal with SAG-AFTRA and WGA on their terms. So now it's just how much it's just a matter of time before one of the 10 of the AMPTP decides that we're going to go ahead and break and we're going to go talk and make a deal. Once one of the big 10, Netflix, Paramount, whoever, once one of the big 10 makes the deal, then the rest will fold. It's just going to happen, because even though the AMPTP they're banded together, there's still 10 companies that are in direct competition with each other. So once one starts making money, the other one's going to want to start making money. That's just the way it is. Mr. Andre, yeah, it was toy sales, and people were pissed off with George Lucas about that. But what a lot of people didn't realize at the time, and may not realize now, is that's how George Lucas made money off of Star Wars. It wasn't off of Star Wars, the original trilogy. Studios made money off of that. He retained 100% rights of toy sales. That's where he made all of his money, off Star Wars. So yeah, he was going to do and push things that he thought would help his pocket. And I understand that. I'm going to sneeze again, I think. It's going to happen. I can feel it. Anyway, before I get into another allergy attack, quick updates. The short film that I have been working on in conjunction with Week in Horror, obviously as a Week in Horror host. It's an Insomniac Films, Week in Horror Films. It's 11 to 6. That is cut. That's cut and colored. We are scoring, and once we get that score, I will have a screening in the Discord. It'll be a lot of fun. Uh-oh. There's a puppy out that wants to go outside. She does not like it when somebody goes outside and does not take her with them. But that being said, that's coming out soon. We've got another short film that we are doing for a festival that we shoot on the 24th and 25th. That's going to be a lot of fun. I'll give you some behind the scenes updates. Ewoks and Wookiees are not. No. I didn't say they were. I didn't say they were the same. I said they were supposed to be. Originally, they were supposed to be Wookiees, but they changed it. Lucas changed it because he wanted the cuteness factor. He wanted to get the kids. He wanted the kids to show up. And toy sales. One sec. Sorry. Nobody wants to see that. Nobody wants to see or hear me blow my nose. That's kind of gross. Sorry about that. Anyway, so I've got those 2 films coming up. And then after that, we've got a few things that we are in discussions with, some approved projects that we are in discussion with. No, they are not Insomniac Films movies. They are other people's movies. So we're going to be crewing out some things that will take away my time. Unfortunately, I won't have as much time to create content and hop on here with you guys as often as I would like. I apologize. That, I'm sorry, I have to work. But with those projects comes a bigger project, something that is more my speed, more what I want to do. And if that one comes to fruition, the second I can announce that, we'll do a joint announcement with Week in Horror, and it'll be a good one. That'll be a good one. Is Johnny O a Wookiee? I did. You did. I am a Wookiee. But that being said, I got to get out of here because I have to go run and walk and all that stuff to get physically ready for this film roll. Spaceballs 3 should absolutely happen. Mel Brooks, make it happen. We've given you great ideas. I'm sure you've got better ideas than that's because you're Mel Brooks, but no snubbing. No snubbing. Not at all. I never took you for the type. I'm not snubbing. I said it's in conjunction with Week in Horror. You guys are going with me. Stop it. Anyway, thank you all. If you all would like to find your charity of choice, give them a few bucks, and do your thing. You don't have to give money here, please. Don't feel obligated. I don't ever want people to feel obligated about giving money here. Oh, that is one thing. Hopefully tomorrow or Thursday, Irish Demon and I will be doing another dad joke challenge. I whipped his ass last time. I beat him like he stole something. But I would like to do that to help support the charity that I believe his niece and nephews were streaming for, that they cut him off on. But yeah, I would like to do that for that charity and see if we can't set it up via YouTube. That way, you guys know that the money goes directly to. The creators, whenever we set up these streams as a charity stream, we don't get any of the money. It doesn't go to us. You make the donation, YouTube takes it, and they send it over, and and YouTube covers all the fees when it comes to like whatever the transfer is or whatever that bullshit is. So boom, we're gonna do that. Find your inner Johnny, people. Thank you so much. Yeah, find your inner Johnny. That's cool. Anyway, look out for that announcement Thursday. It's gonna be Thursday around 1:00 my time, which is it's 9:18 my time right now, so you can do the math. 1 p.m. Anyway, Chili needs the money. Help him out, bro. No, I'm not gonna give Chili a fucking dime. Anyway, thank you all so much. You guys are awesome. I really do appreciate every one of you hanging out with me. We will see you on the flip side. Cheers, everybody.